All right.
All right.
We live.
Yeah.
Live from New Orleans, Louisiana, the home of Steve Gleason. He was one bad mammoth jammer when he played, and now he's a legend. And we're going to be talking about him and his foundation on the big show. It's All Over the Road New Orleans live with Chet Kelly, Nick Vogel, special guest Paul Varisco, and Keith Babin on the big show. Here's Victor.
Thank you. Thank you so much. The both of you who are listening. It's another live edition of All Over the Road New Orleans. And we promised you a show a day till this bad boy goes away.
Thank you.
Boy, back to studio audience today.
The studio audience is revved up.
Yeah, they are.
Totally revved up. Okay. We're gonna got a lot we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about that Saints game last night, and Paul Varisco is gonna be on. We're gonna talk about my legend. The reason why I'm wearing the Detroit Tiger hat is because the legendary Detroit Tiger baseball player, Hall of Famer Al Kaline passed away yesterday at the age of 85, complications with a stroke. And I just got to be honest with you, Mr. Tiger. I got to be honest with you. A little part of my childhood passed away with him. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about my trip to Costco game today. Again, it's ever changing. The trips to Costco are ever changing.
What do you mean, the whole procedure inside?
Oh yeah. Wait, we'll get into it after we talk to the important people we're going to talk to. We'll get into that because that's how that goes.
Yeah.
Okay. But what I wanted to do right now, I'm afraid. Sorry, that's the wrong button. Oh, let me pull up the right music. Okay. Hey, it's live. What can I tell you? Listen, I wanted to take this time to really thank Ted for all the work he's been doing in the social media, all the work he's been doing with the content, excellent content yesterday with Darren Mulligan. I got to compliment you and thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
However,
does this thank you comes with an asterisk?
Yes, it does. The fidgeting has got to stop. Okay, all the whole show yesterday, you're fidgeting, you're grabbing, you're talking on the phone, you're grabbing your coffee, you're fixing. Just look, I know you're a radio guy, but this is TV. You've got to be poised.
A little more calm. Well, okay. Chris isn't taken. I take it like a professional or whatever.
I mean, look at Nick right now.
And you're not out of line by telling anybody anything, I suppose. I realize
that is true.
Well, wait a second. I have to clarify. Yesterday was a busy show.
That is true. It was a busy show.
Show.
But look, for instance, okay, look at Nick right now. All you see is a big, still face. It's a big face. Okay. But still, there's no fidgeting. Okay. So
I'm sorry, I was frozen.
Could you okay? So could you please refrain from the fidgeting?
Well,
it was a
do my best. Can't make any promises.
Okay. Last night was an exciting night because there is no sports. Sports has officially passed away and gone by the wayside. And last night they did the replay of Steve Gleason's block punt, first game back from Katrina in the Superdome against the Falcons, and that place went bonkers.
Yeah. It did.
And let's get we got a little clip of that, Nick. A little clip.
Here we go.
Oh, Ozzy's still playing here.
This is a replay last night on ESPN. The game from 2006.
Okay, so here's the block. There's the snap. It's blocked by Steve Gleason. It's blocked by Steve Gleason. Gleason he's got the ball. It's a touchdown, Steve.
Wow.
So there it is.
Hey, man, when I watched that last night, I know Nick had text as well. I got a little emotional. Man, I mean,
Oh,
it
yeah.
brought back memories. I mean, this game signals the rebirth of New Orleans after
sure did.
Katrina,
It sure
basically, and the rebirth of the Saints in a way too.
Now, since then, Steve Gleason's Team Gleason has been a major part of the New Orleans community. I mean, anything that has to do with ALS, anybody that needs any kind of help, this Team Gleason is there. I've got a lot of team. I should have worn my Team Gleason apparel. I should have. My apologies. But we got Paul Varisco on the line. We're going to pipe him in here. Paul is the director of Team Gleason. How you doing, Paulie?
Hey,
Hey,
Paul.
Paul.
I'm doing okay. Just one correction. It's Varisco, not Verasco, but it's okay. Varisco. And I'm doing well.
Okay. Hopefully that's over. We got a little interference on you there, Paul. I don't know why, but we do.
Paul, do you have headphones you can put on? Maybe that would help.
What's that?
If he's got headphones he could put on, that might help. I don't know if there's some feedback coming through.
Because this is a very important interview here, so we want to make sure that we
I think he's got some, and
this is live TV, folks.
Maybe this will help. I hope it does.
You hear us now?
Paul, say a few syllables.
I don't know.
Okay, there's some. You know what? Say it again now. Go ahead, Paul.
Paul Varisco.
Okay, I tell you what we're gonna do with Paul. Okay, I'm gonna call you. Okay, I'm gonna call you. We'll just do it. We'll just do it on the phone. Okay, hold on one second. This is
Let's try that.
It's live. It's live for you.
This stuff happens.
Paul Varisco, director of Team Gleason.
Maybe
And Steve's daddy-in-law.
Hello.
Hey, there you are, buddy.
All right.
All right, Paul. There he is. Let's give him a hand now. Let's get the applause back. Yeah.
Maybe you could
Paul Varisco.
If you could put his picture up without the mic muted, does that work?
Well, we weren't prepared for that, Ted, but it was a good idea. There he is.
Just to show him, but you're talking to him on the phone, right?
There you go. Yeah, there you are. Oh, Paul. So, big night last night. Big fundraiser. I heard Archie was on. It was a big old deal, huh? Tell me about it.
It was great, fantastic. It was, I can't tell how many people called us and said that they were crying and of course, remembering all the great moments of that evening. And it was very exciting. Steve was very excited about it. He was tweeting away like crazy, but all in all, a great night, brought back great memories.
He is very active on the social media. He is extremely active, and
sometimes too much.
And it was one of those events after Katrina that I think everybody remembers where they were. I unfortunately wasn't able to be there. I got relocated to Houston, but I remember watching it in my brand new giant man cave because in Houston you can build a house with $50 a square foot. It's not like here you get a big old house. And excuse me, we had a big crowd of people up there, and it was just people were jumping on one another. It was I would probably have to say that it's the single most that and Ambush, the onside kick in the Super Bowl, are probably the two biggest plays in Saints history, no doubt.
I would have to agree. The Porter interception was high on the rank too, but I think this was great. I have to confess too that my wife and I were in Las Vegas for the night, so we weren't in the stadium either. But I was sitting with a crowd of people, and when Steve blocked the punt, I jumped up and said, "My future son-in-law." So quite a memory.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
man, that's so cool.
I think what we really want to mention, especially right now, is that during these very unprecedented times, it's usually the nonprofits, the people that do the most for others that suffer. And we want to make sure that, hey, now I understand if you're unemployed and you can't pay your rent and you can't buy food, that, you might not be able to support Team Gleason at this time until you can. So I understand that. But we really need to make sure that we don't let these good causes suffer just because of this pandemic. So what are your feelings on that?
Well, I appreciate it very much, and you're absolutely correct. I mean, the people that suffer with ALS still have all the needs that they had prior to this coronavirus. and in some cases, in many cases, even more because they don't have the access to the help that they normally get. All kinds of things shut down, so it's even more important that we support them. Luckily, our entire staff is able to work remotely, and we are continuing the work that we do. We're shipping things out daily and getting requests more than we had in the past. So he is important. And the other side of that is that when we looked forward and looked at the events that we have that were raising money for us, we realized that, just being conservative, that we're probably going to be about $500,000 short of what our goal was. So anything that we can do that will help, anybody that can give anything can help. And we certainly can empathize with those who are struggling. And no way would we want them to go overboard and help us when they need to help themselves. But obviously there are people who want to help Steve, want to help our cause, as evidenced by a tremendous response last night. We met our goal and exceeded it. So thanks to all of those people. If any of you are listening, it's very important to us, and we appreciate it greatly.
Well, when I got the email yesterday, I knew you would. I knew you would exceed. You're going for that 37,000 because Steve's number was 37.
That's right.
Now I don't remember, where was the event? Where did y'all? It was just something that was done.
Well, it's a series of events. So we looked at. We had a big gala that was scheduled March 21st, and it was lots and lots of work. We had a great lineup to play. It was on the order of the Make It Right. Remember when Brad Pitt did Make It Right? Mm-hmm. So it was at the Hyatt. We were expecting about 800 people. So we had to cancel that. And then subsequently, there were about 3 or 4 or 5 events that we were having in anywhere from now to October that have canceled. Some are only postponed, but we also realize that even if they're postponed, there'll be a lot more competition. People will still be suffering with financial needs. So, we anticipated that being less as well. So last night was a tremendous event for us and a tremendous, reward and humbling at the same time that people would reach in their pockets and support us in a time like this. So it's really nice.
Well, how are you doing as far as volunteer staff?
Well, we're good. I mean, we can't use volunteers now because they can't do anything. We can't be together. So all of our meetings are virtual, all of our discussions. But luckily, as I said, we set up a new area because we were in St. Martin's nursing home, so we can't work out of there anymore because of the residents. So we have a space, and we were able to ship all the merchandise and the equipment and technology that we had been doing. So that's all working well.
And so last night you gave away the Gleason jersey and the Dempsey jersey?
Right. Now, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm looking at my notes, the donation had to be in before 10 a.m. this morning, but they're actually going to announce the winners at 5 p.m.
Oh, okay. Good.
So
good.
We still have yet to see who won those two. And everybody that donated, whether it be $5 or $5,000, would be eligible for those prizes.
Where do they announce the winner? Is that on the website?
Probably, yes. And I have to thank Thomas Morstead. He's the one that donated the Dempsey jersey, signed jersey.
Cool.
And so we had great response from the players. Sean Payton did a great job tweeting. Nita, Zach Streep. I mean, I can't. There's a number of them that really helped us quite a bit with all of the promotion of the event.
ALS is the type of disease that doesn't really touch home that much with a lot of people. I mean, it's a very rare disease. Of course, a lot of people know it as Lou Gehrig's disease. And
right.
But in Steve's case, everybody kind of gets a little taste of it, kind of touching at home because of just our affection for Steve.
Somebody right?
And I actually had a dear friend that passed away, Linda Rockefeller, many years back, who was one of my very good friends, and she had it, and she wasn't able to hang around as long as Steve had, which is miraculous. This is God's grace. The guy is just as healthy as he is.
Yeah.
Well, you're absolutely right. It's an orphan disease. Not many people knew about it. Now still there are many, many people that need to know, but we have, with Steve's stories and the national coverage that we had and many other things that have happened, the disease is well known now for the most part, and that's helped everybody across the country. But you're right, it's a terrible disease. It's as hard as anything to live with because the mind works, you want to do things, but the body just can't move. So it's a struggle for that person, but also for anybody that has to take care of them. And the caregivers are as important to us as the people who have the disease because it's a struggle for both of them. And it's hard. And the technology that we've helped develop and work and that we distribute has helped people to continue to have purpose and live. So I can't tell you how many times, people get these devices and they change their will to live. And that's really rewarding to us.
Yeah, that's the biggest accomplishment I think that Team Gleason has had is the technology that they've been able to develop for people suffering with ALS. This is a question I've always wanted to ask somebody, especially someone like you, because there's probably nobody closer to Steve than you. For the record, Steve is married to your daughter, and is the audio data that he's compiling for his kids. Now, tell me a little bit about that. I've heard that he's putting together a bunch of audio stuff for his kids to listen to when they get older. Can you shed some light on that?
Well, yeah, he actually did it. He doesn't do it as much anymore, but when first diagnosed and believing that he might have only 2 years to live or 3 years to live, he started documenting his life and started doing life lessons, and he filmed it. Mm-hmm. And he did about 1,300 hours. We ended up having people who actually lived with Steve and Michelle. They filmed everything. And that is how we ended up doing the documentary. And if you haven't seen the documentary, I certainly recommend it to anybody. It's not just a story about ALS, it's a story about the human nature and the human spirit. And I would think that most everybody should look at it and you'll come out of it feeling a little bit differently than you did.
No, definitely.
So I'm sure you guys saw it. So he took those things and now he's able to do some of those lessons with Rivers and hopefully soon with Gray, that instead of showing a video, he can actually tell him. So, he's had Rivers at baseball practice, football, and he'll continually tell him, give him his thoughts and coach him. He helps him with his homework. So he's really a good dad, great dad, I should say, with limitations. It just takes him a lot longer to say the things that he needs to say than you and I can do.
So Michelle's fine. Gray and what's the other boy's name? Rivers.
Rivers. Yeah.
They're good. They're good.
Yeah, they're doing well. They're having some interesting times with being quarantined, but they have a great schedule. They do bike riding in the morning. They have a school schedule, somewhat of a play schedule, and they're doing pretty well. They're holding up well.
Well, now if someone wants to make a donation, I mean, I'm sure they can do it online and at the website, correct?
Yes, definitely on the website. And I think if you didn't get the link came out with the e-blast, the one that you saw yesterday. But yeah, and all they have to do if they want to attribute it to this, they can just put Monday Night Football or MNF. Otherwise, any donation, anytime, any way will be certainly used in a great way, and we're helping a lot of people.
Yeah, we can't let this fall by the wayside. Now, I'll tell you what we're going to do over here with the show. We're going to make $1,000 donation all over the road. The podcast is going to make that donation, and I challenge all other podcasts, including Joe Rogan, to do the same thing. And, I got to tell you just a quick story. First of all, I mean, Steve's story is a phenomenal story. We like to bring people here with this show, good stories.
Uh-huh.
We had Dan Schneider, the pharmacist. We had him on there. His story is phenomenal. We're going to have this guy on, a good friend of mine, Uncle Laurel. He was the subject of Life After Gangland. We're going to do him sometime. Well, we got to wait till we can get him in the studio, so we don't know when that's going to be. But, one great Steve Gleason story I had, I got to meet him one time. Okay. It was I believe it was 2010 is when I met him. All right. And he was such an interesting guy. And we were talking, and he actually told me, he said he didn't own a television.
That's correct.
Yeah. And I was going, dude, who doesn't own a television? I mean, you can't even, if I was a football player like Steve Gleason, I would at least want to tape the games and go back and watch myself. But
Yeah, no,
that's me. But he's a humble guy.
He didn't even, he wrote us something yesterday. I don't know if you saw it, but he didn't know that the Saints drafted Reggie Bush until Michelle told him. Yeah, he has a lot of other interests. He's a traveler. He's an intellectual type person. So his interest is life and its many complexities and finding purpose, and to a great extent, that's what he believes about this disease, that it gave him an additional purpose than what he had, and going forward, hopes that he can continue to do that, because let's face it, he is responsible for saving and helping a lot of people live their lives, and he was rewarded recently with the Congressional Gold Medal, and well deserved.
I was going to mention that. Yeah. I'm glad you beat me to it.
Yeah, I mean, what a tremendous and exciting event. We lived with her for about a year and a half, and so we were excited that it was even a potential happening. And then when it was awarded, we got even more excited. But to actually be there in Congress, in the building, in the Capitol, and having those people that fight with each other on a daily basis sit next to each other and have a common goal was just amazing and awesome. So it was a great experience, and he's well deserved.
Yeah, it happened in the middle of the day when they gave him that medal, and
exactly.
I didn't even know it was going to be on. I just happened to catch it. it, and I got to tell you, I mean, there wasn't a dry tear in my a dry eye in the entire office. So it was.
No,
really
listen, it was spectacular, and we're very excited about it, as we are for a lot of things. Most importantly, though, as I mentioned earlier, to get a great response from somebody that we really helped is so rewarding. And at the end of the day, we all know that our work is important and appreciated. And again, thank you for letting me talk about this, and also especially thank you for the donation. That's very kind of you, and we appreciate it. I'll make sure that I let Stevie know.
Yeah, I'll get Nick, the executive producer, the guy with the big face right above you.
Yeah,
I'll get him to get online and do that as soon as we finish the show. Okay.
Good.
And look, and I was going to say something like Steve Gleason was a beast, but Steve Gleason is still a beast. It's a beast.
Yeah. Thanks.
Vic, go ahead.
Vic, one last thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
One last thing. I told my wife this morning my first baseball glove, 1956, was an Al Kaline.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
He was my favorite player at the time, so I changed to Eddie Matthews later on. But Al Kaline meant a lot to me, so I'm glad that you mentioned him. And I just had to tell you that story.
He was a great ball player, but an even better human being is what he was. No kidding. I mean,
there you go.
Vic, you want to show Paul your baseball card?
Uh-oh.
Okay. This right here is a Topps 1955 K-line certified.
Whoa,
See how it's in the plastic? See how it's in the plastic? It's graded.
Yeah.
On a scale from 1 to 10, this is a 6. Okay.
I love it. I love it.
And then I got the Bowman. Remember the Bowman cards?
Mm-hmm.
This is a 55 K-line Bowman. Okay. Look at that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
Certified. Look at that. Is it beautiful?
Amazing.
You want to, Paulie, you want to see some more of my cards? This is when he was signing Albert K-line before he became Al. This is a 56.
That's a young man.
It's a 50. Yeah. And this one's in really good condition. It's a 7 PQ. It's a 7.
God.
Yeah. There you go. It's a 7.
Yeah, man. A little higher.
There you go. Better put those in the safe.
Yeah, PQ means premium quality. Means premium quality. And then I got a couple more that I'm going to show a little bit later in the show. I don't want to show them all at one time.
Yeah, right.
That's a teaser.
I don't want to blow my wad here. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, thanks again, guys. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you, Paul.
Thanks for joining us today.
All right. Bye-bye.
God bless you, baby.
Bye-bye. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I think you guys would agree, huh? Steve Gleason is pretty much a legend in New Orleans.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not beyond that.
Yeah.
And, Vic, we have a friend, old radio friend, that was diagnosed with ALS about a year and a half ago. Bumper Morgan, remember?
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah, so, I mean, his wife has been documenting a lot of their journey on Facebook, along the way, and it's a devastating disease, and your thoughts and prayers need to go out to everybody who's affected, families as well as the patient.
Great
Definitely.
interview. Good job. Good job.
Yeah,
I donation. That was awesome. That's good.
Yeah.
I put on the Instagram story when I was watching the game last night, the play, I was watching the beginning of the game and I knew, I was like, I said, hey, I bet you guys anything that first drive of the game, Steve Gleason's going to come right up the gut and block the punt and we're going to touchdown. And then, I'd record it and show the block punt, show the recovery, show the touchdown. And I tagged Team Gleason in it and they reposted the story and it like made my whole night. And that guy's a legend.
It was definitely a very special evening. Okay, so here we go.
This is a special all over the road live COVID-19 special. We're doing a show a day until this sucker goes away. And now, from the Coin Trader newsroom, all over the road, here's your anchor, Victor Del Giorno.
You like how I do that? You like that? You like how I do that, Ted?
That's a nice little transition. Yeah, I like that.
I still got a couple cards I'm going to show a little later. Some more of my K-line, some more of my K-line cards. Okay, we'll do that a little bit later in the show. Okay, so what's going on with Keith Babin? What's happening with him?
So you want to bring Keith in?
Yeah, can we? I don't see his face though.
Yeah, I think he's
We got
there.
no face, but we got audio, I think.
He's got no. Keith? Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Hey, buddy, how's it going? This is Keith Babin.
Look, here's Keith. Watch, I'm going to show you Keith. Look at the top right of your screen there. There's Keith.
Keith's picture.
There's Keith. Yeah, Keith.
That's a little Keith right there.
So you have your camera on, Keith. You have your camera on your phone, but it's not working.
It's not working. I did the instructions, but for some reason it's just having some complications today. So I apologize about that.
Well,
No,
okay.
we'll
move forward.
The audio is loud and clear, so that sounds
Yeah,
great at least.
We're good on the fly. Let me tell you, we're good on the fly. Keith Babin is a health and wellness coach. Now, Keith, let me just say, I know you can. Can you see me on the camera there?
I can't.
Okay.
I for some reason there's 4 squares, but there is no photos of anybody, man.
Okay. Well, I was going to tell you that the camera, puts on 10 pounds. I was get the camera.
Hey, I understand. I understand.
Yeah. So, but he's a health and wellness coach, and he's with the First Fitness Nutrition as well. So, look, here's what I want to know. All right, and this is the question. I know you guys got some questions too, so have them ready. All right. Here's what I want to know. Are there things that we can be doing as far as the fuel we put into our body and the way that we deal with stress as far as cardiovascular exercise and whatnot that can help us build up an immune system that will keep this thing away from us? Is that something that we can do, and what would be your recommendation?
Well, I would say this, guys, and thank you for having me on today. As much as we should be doing the precautions that we have all been told about, the social distancing, the washing the hands, making sure we are practicing all those necessary things. Being in preparation for your wellness and your immune health is something that I think about tremendously to go along with everything. In other words, just the times I've got out and about, just have been amazed at looking in people's buggies, what people are coming out of the stores with, things that definitely does not help the immune system. These are times where we should be practicing health more than anything, what we're putting in our body, getting some type of exercise. I wouldn't suggest sitting around just mauling out on bad foods that can create acidity in the body, can weaken the immune system with all the sugar, beverages that certain people might be going crazy with right now. So definitely the washing of the hands, definitely the social distancing, not getting out and about unless you absolutely have to. But I want to encourage and just bring out the importance of your nutrition, your wellness, your exercise, and supplementation is highly important at this time. It should be important all the time, but highly at this time.
Yeah. Hey, Keith, like in our neighborhood, everybody's out walking the block, okay? Walking around, it's, with the kids, riding bikes around the circle or whatever, around the neighborhood, more so than ever in the past. Now, something is just as small as getting out and taking a walk, maybe once or twice a day. Is that going to make a difference?
Well, stress can weaken the immune system, anxiety, fear, all these things can have a negative impact on the body. And so, doing something that could help with that stress, that anxiety, will help the immune system. Now, with this coronavirus, it is a virus, airborne and things. And I just think that the body is so wonderfully made that if you hey, anybody can get sick. We have seen that happen before, not just with what we're seeing with the coronavirus. They do say the things that people that have a compromised immune system, health challenges, are being challenged. But we've had cases where we've seen someone that doesn't fit that criteria. But I'd rather be on the side of practicing wellness, practicing health, and making sure we're hydrating our body, and doing things to manage the stress, the anxiety, taking in the supplementation of, the vitamin C and the things that so many of the wise people have told us to do are great enhancements to help us right now.
I guess if you can find the vitamin C in the store, though, huh?
Yeah. And that's a challenge with, if we lived in a perfect world, like people ask me all the time, guys, do we really have to take supplements? And I'll say, no, you don't. If you live and you're getting your food from the Garden of Eden and drinking the water that flowed from the brook in the Garden of Eden, no, you do not need supplements. But, guys, the honesty is the majority of Americans are not getting their foods from the Garden of Eden. And, the processed foods, the foods that are loaded with chemicals, the sugar, all of that causes toxicity in the body, can negatively affect the immune system, can affect the wellness of a person. And so, some things that I would encourage people that are no-brainers. Be careful with what the liquids you're drinking. Get off the sugar and the beverages that can cause things that are just not helping immune health. Lots of vegetables, vitamin C, hydrating the body. I can't express, if there was anything such as a miracle nutrient, if we would call anything a miracle nutrient, it's just simply water. Good, balanced, healthy pH water. We do not drink enough water. The body is over 70% water. The blood is over 90% water. It's important to hydrate your body, to keep your body alkaline as much as possible. And those are just things that everybody should be able to do.
That's true. And not just during the quarantine period. Hopefully if you've developed these habits during this time, you can continue them when things get back to normal.
You can look at it. That's a great point, Ted. You can look at it. I know that so many people are they're making jokes about, day 1 of quarantine and day 30, and they're showing, a skinny person and an obese person. But, I would like to encourage everybody to use this time to evaluate some things that would set you up going forward, just for being a better, well-rounded, just a wellness of your health. And make it a priority, because I'd rather lean to the precaution that I've done all I could do than just say, well, if I get it, I get it, or whatever happens, happens. No, I'd be, we all know about insurance plans, and, we have those in case there is a problem. But I just believe that a healthy body, someone who should be practicing immune health, physical health, cardiovascular health, I just believe that kind of person is doing his part to help, not just in this time, but in overall health. Because look, as I've heard studies say that you get the body you deserve and the health you deserve at 50. Okay, so the body's so wonderfully made that we can abuse it and we can treat it awfully. But around at 50 years old, you get what you have, unless there's some challenges that, heredity and genetics and things. But, I believe that the body works like a computer. It runs the way you program it to run. And so I just encourage some people to hit delete right now and do some reprogramming
Yeah.
and practice wellness and some general stuff, guys. I mean, look, I'm not talking about people that are trying out for the Ironman. I'm just talking about general health. There are some things, that you can do with what you're putting in and handling stress.
Keith, I've been doing it lately ever since this thing started. I made a decision. I've been cutting out the sugar. Okay.
Yes.
And I was like a 2, 3 Pepsi guy a day. Not the diet either. I mean, the sugar and everything. I got to tell you, I feel 100% better. And what you say about the body you get at 50, I remember that I had gotten in some really good shape in my 40s. Obviously, I'm a lot younger than I look. This what has really helped me in this thing is that I have to be patient and realize that at 50 plus, approaching 60, it just, the body doesn't react like it used to react. But I can't tell you how much better I feel now. This is something that I've been wondering about. What is some of the good snacks that I could use other than, carrot sticks and celery? Give me some stuff that would be I was doing cashews and I'm not doing the cashews anymore. Grapes. These are things I tend to like, Keith. So what would you recommend?
Well, let's start with our fruits. Apples, blackberries, blueberries, cantaloupe, cherries, grapefruit, grapes, pear, raspberries, strawberries.
Okay.
Those are your berries are incredible. Your almonds. I would definitely say the unsalted and the raw. Cottage cheese. The low-fat cottage cheese. Gelatin. Now, guys, look, I know sugar-free gelatin, but I know some cheesecake and a donut and a honey bun and cinnamon rolls, but we got to realize we're talking about health and nutrition right now. But just the fact of getting some sugar-free gelatin, you're making yourself thinking that you're getting a treat or a dessert. And as a kid, we kind of maybe appreciated that. Pistachios, unsalting, some popcorn, no butter and all. Those are some good things. Lots of vegetables.
The no butter will kill me.
Right.
I love butter.
Yeah. Lots of your thermic vegetables. There's things called thermic. The word thermic means heat. Heat is energy, and energy is what burns calories. And so there are things called thermic vegetables. Loading up on those, and walnuts, raw and unsalted, and those are some things that you can definitely take advantage of that are easy snack items.
Yeah. Well, strawberries are big at my house right now, but unfortunately, we're topping them with some Cool Whip.
Well, we don't.
That's okay.
We don't live in a perfect world, and we got to have some little bit of balance. Yeah. But guys, if I could create a visual, if you'd allow me to, this is what made sense to me. I want you to imagine. And is it okay for me to share this? What I want to right now? Did y'all have another question?
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I want you to imagine. I saw a healthcare practitioner do this one time at a seminar. He had 2 huge punch bowls on these tables, and he said, "I want to give you a picture of health, and I want to give you a picture of sickness." And he had all these props on the table on one of his punch bowls, and he had, a cup of coffee loaded with sugar and cream. He had a sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffin, hash brown. He had a hamburger with some fries with another Coke with some chips, some butter, some lard, some ice cream. And he poured it all in that punch bowl, poured Dr. Pepper in it, root beer, some beer, and he stirred it up. And he said, now the body is, 96, 97, 98 degrees. There's no water in there. There's no vegetables in there. There's no fruit in there. And you wonder why you're sick. And he took another punch bowl and he had water, some grapefruit juice, some cut up apples, strawberries, some baked chicken, some lettuce. And he dumped all of that in the punch bowl. And he said, I want to give you a visual of what health looks like. And think about, I'm not talking about people eat like this for a day on that bad punch bowl. They eat like this for years and years years. Yeah. And colon health is very important, guys. One thing that we're big on is that we believe if you want to be healthy, gut health is extremely important. Mm-hmm. And you have got, the body was made to take food in, break it down as energy, and be eliminated. And I know us guys, we don't really, most of us don't have a problem going to the bathroom, but you'd be amazed at the female gender. Mostly I see it in the female, but some guys, they don't go to the bathroom like they should. And we would never go a day without flushing our toilet or not letting our sink be, if it was clogged up. But think about going your body and not doing that proper, taking the food in, breaking it down, distributing energy, and eliminating. So I really want to encourage all of us to consider colon health. And it starts with your nutrition, your water, but also a good supplementation to help.
How do you know you got a healthy poo? Okay, I mean, I don't know. Like a lot of women don't do this. They never check out their stool. I do. I've never met a stool that I didn't check out. I'm always checking it out. And how do I know that I've got a healthy? Now, I heard that if it sinks, that's bad. It needs to float. What's going on with that?
Well, you want to have a loose, soft stool. You do not want diarrhea. And one seminar that I went to was amazed. Someone was talking about how they had diarrhea, and the person said, "Well, you're constipated." And the person said, "No, you didn't hear what I said. I said I was having diarrhea." They said, "No, I did hear what you said. You're constipated." See, you got to ask yourself, are you moving the substance or not? And somebody may say, "Oh, this is gross we're talking about," but I tell you what,
no, this is a good question.
Colon health is extremely important. You should have loose, soft stool, and you should have 2 to 3 to 5 healthy bowel movements a day. Guys, I work with clients that go to the bathroom once. Oh, yes.
Did you say a day?
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Think about this. Think about a newborn baby. You give them a little bitty old bottle, and what will they do with a diaper? They will fill that thing up. But us human beings will go to buffets and go to this, and we think, well, yeah, I went to the bathroom today. But it's your body should be. Think about your pet. You feed your animal. What does your animal have to do? Has to go to the bathroom.
Defecate.
Right.
And guys, through poor nutrition, poor selection of food, years and years and years of this causes just unhealthy gut health and colon health. And so I really hope that everybody will take note of that. But to answer, you're looking for a soft, loose stool, not diarrhea. And you never want your lifestyle altered to be living in a bathroom. But you do need to consider that. But
the sinkage isn't something that I should be concerned about, because I heard it's supposed to float. So that's not true, right? It can sink. It can hit the bottom.
It can sink. Yeah, it can sink. Now, I would be careful with the black stool. That could be something maybe you would want to get checked out or something like that. Definitely. But look, guys, a lot of this can just be some simple choices of nutrition and water, good fiber, getting enough fiber in your body.
Yeah.
And it's just something that I think it's worth paying attention to.
Yeah. I mean, this is a good time for us to all be working on our stools. Every single one of them.
Yes.
I mean, everybody poops. People don't have a problem talking about droplets, but you bring up poo and, that's what you get. So,
well, let me say this too, guys. Some studies have made bold statements that the average human, now I'm not talking about the overweight person, the average human can hold anywhere from 7 to 25 pounds of dried excess fecal matter in the intestinal tract. 7 to 25. So when someone says you're full of it, you probably need to just tell them you are too.
Yeah. Did you see what
Wow.
Our biggest fan is this young lady in Oceanside, California. Her name is Terry, and she says she poos 3 to 5 times a day. Well, I think this is all real helpful stuff. I was really glad to have you on the program. Just one more quick thing. You were talking about diarrhea, and of course, this COVID-19 came from China. You know what they call diarrhea in China, Keith?
No.
They call it China-rhea.
Okay.
There you go.
Man, thank you for joining us today, Keith. Some good info, some valuable.
Yeah, give us if people want. I assume you got a website or something or something like that.
Yeah, man. My website is the letter K, Babin. My last name, B as in boy, A, B as in boy, IN. .firstfitness.com. KBabin. firstfitness.com.
Okay, now do you got any kin in St. Charles Parish?
Man, I am not related to anybody. As much popular as South Louisiana Babin is, we missed out on all the kinfolk. But I get asked all the time, but my question would be no. My answer would be no.
Well, let me tell you this. You are one heck of an interview. We want to have you on again. You're very, very good. And we want to have you on again and maybe find a way to get your face up here next time. So will you join us later on as we do this thing? We may have some more questions for you. As a matter of fact, what I'd like to do is maybe get some people to come up with some questions on the website or on the Instagram where we can, have Keith back on here. Does that sound good?
I'd be grateful too, and I just highly respect Ted and all his expertise in the media world, and would love to be a guest with you guys again.
All right. Well,
I respect Ted too, but he can't. He's got to cut out the fidgeting. Okay, he's a fidgeter. he likes to fidget. We got to cut that out, man. Thanks for being on, my brother.
Hey, y'all have a great day, man. Stay safe.
You too.
Right. Stay healthy.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Keith.
Stay regular.
Great guy, and I've known him for a while. I actually know Keith personally, but funny thing is, he's a Louisiana guy. Babin, the name, of course. He's an Alabama fan.
Yeah, well, yeah. I could tell he's got a little bam. He's got a twang.
Not everyone's perfect, man.
But he's awesome. He was an awesome interview. He's got
some good information. That was good. That was really good.
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
It's time now for an all over the road New Orleans special COVID-19 report on what the hell is going on at the Costco.
At the Costco.
I'm addicted. I'm addicted to the Costco.
You're addicted to Costco?
Since this thing is, since things help. I mean, if I eat an egg and I'm an egg short, oh my God, I gotta get some eggs. I mean, it's just crazy. So we go over there today. All right. So I had a return today. All right. I was returning some Italian cold cuts. Okay. I buy these packs of Italian cold cuts.
Wait, hang on a second. Oh, you're going to tell the story? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Why did you take them back?
I took them back because they weren't up to par. The prosciutto was dry. The capicola was sticking together. The sapressata was, sub-sapressata. And so I was bringing it back. And when you bring something back at Costco, they don't ask you no questions.
Yeah.
You walk up and so I walk up, it's got the big line wrapping around the building. They got the notches on the cement. You got to stand 6 feet apart. So me and Martha are doing her thing. We get in there. Mm-hmm. And so before I went to get in line to get a basket, I had to go to customer service because I'm got a return. Mm-hmm. So I go in there, I walk in, I got my mask on, I got my gloves on. The people behind the counter, they got the screens up now, the spit screens, and they didn't have any masks or gloves on. So I go walk up to kind of put it on. Oh no! I go put it on. Stop! I went to go put it on the counter. Get my receipt out, get my card out. Stop! And their new thing there is now they don't touch nothing. They don't touch nothing. You gotta put your card down, barcode up. You gotta put you put the receipt down and you step back. You step back. And they, everything they do, they zap everything. But when you go through the checkout line too, they'll help you undo your basket and they'll move things. They don't do nothing. They don't touch nothing. They're not touching nothing. Okay. And that was like it is such a evolving story at the Costco.
Yeah, it
really is. And then, they had this one guy that was there. Every time it turned around, and look, I'm not fearful of this thing. I'm not one of these guys. But you know what? Maybe I am. He was like all in my grill, all up on me and everything. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I don't like to be this way, but I guess it's starting to get to me.
Yeah.
All you have to say is social distancing. You just say it out loud.
Yeah.
And you just look at him in the eye like this.
Jeez, I didn't want to be. I mean, what do you tell a guy? Hey, get away from me.
Just say back off, pal.
And I haven't been to Costco, but does Costco have the markers on the floor? The 6-foot markers on the floor?
I have no idea what you're saying.
Picks moved on.
Play ball!
Yeah, okay.
Next batter, number 6, the right fielder, Al Kaline.
He's number 6 in your programs. He's number 1 in your.
This is my 1958 Tops. This is the best condition I got. This is an 8. See? That's the K line. That's the 8 right there.
How many have you had that?
I got one more. Jeez. All right already. Jeez.
Can you hear us?
Do you like to work with me?
Can you hear me, Nick?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I was asking you, how long have you had that?
These I've had them many years. This one I've had since I was a kid. This one's I've had since I was a kid. This actually in 1968. These little things came in the packs of cards, and this is what he did the previous year in the All-Star game. He flew out. So the next year they put these in the cards, and then you deal the cards out, and you can play a game with your friends. You pull it over, ground out, and you get 3 outs, and the other guy does it. You know, I mean, baseball was big back then.
Oh yeah.
I mean, baseball was nothing like it is today.
No.
I mean, baseball truly was a pastime.
You're talking
You know,
in the 60s, right?
Yeah, in the 60s and in the 70s. I mean, I remember the first time I ever went to Tiger Stadium in Detroit, okay? First time I ever went there. Now, nowadays when they build these stadiums, if you notice all the new stadiums, you enter at ground level, and then the stadium is like underground. You walk down to your seat, right? Well, in the old stadiums, and it's still this way at Wrigley Field and Fenway Park, you'd be down below, and then what happens is I remember being a kid and walking up the ramp, okay, from down below, and the whole field and state just opens up to you, and it was magical. But it's not like that anymore. And let me tell you something. Sports is dead. I mean, I would have never imagined in all my born days that they would kill sports, but they did. I mean, and now they're talking about, I mean, I don't see how they can finish the NBA season. They're talking about playing baseball in Arizona in front of empty seats. How are you going to do that? How do you do social distancing when a guy's stealing second and you're throwing down there and the guy's tagging you out?
Yeah.
It's impossible.
It's just not going to happen.
Now,
and then I start thinking about
Korea is starting like 6 games of an exhibition, like in I think in 2 weeks. So Korea is already over it.
And then I start thinking ahead to the Saints. Okay, there's no way that by September you're going to be able to put 70,000 people in the Superdome. I mean, I don't see it unless they come up with some miracle thing. You know, I don't know.
Well, it's hard to say right now. We don't know.
Okay, what's going on here?
Hey,
Dan.
How's it going?
Dan, the cards and letters have been coming in, and our viewers, because now it's viewers, it's not listeners. They want to know where the heck you've been.
Well, I'm in lockdown, complete utter isolation and lockdown.
This is our official sports correspondent, Dan Greenbaum. And
I love the applause. Jesus, that makes me happy.
I was just talking about, Al Kaline, and I will tell you, thank you, Dan. Dan was the first one that texted me last night when he found out that Al Kaline passed away. And I got to tell you, it was touching. Thank you very much for that, Dan.
Well, your office full of Al Kaline memorabilia, and I respect anybody who follows an athlete and loves them until the day they die. So
I was just telling him how it was when I was a kid, that baseball was completely different. The stadiums, now stadiums, you walk in and you walk down to your seat. In the old stadiums, you walk up the ramp and everything would open up. And just how great the game, you could smell.
Feel.
Oh yeah. You could smell cigar smoke and pipe smoke in the crowd. And
the grass would just always seem so green.
Yeah.
You'd look out at the field and be like, oh, this is nice.
So how the heck are they going to do this baseball thing? How do you practice social distancing? I mean,
I don't know.
There's a man at first. You're holding the guy on first. You're leading off first.
I don't know.
He's going to get a 12-foot lead.
Can you please?
Even more than that, you got to have the batter, the catcher, and the umpire all in the batter's box.
They're going to do no pickoffs, no stealing. I don't see how they're going to do it.
I think they have to wait. I totally understand where they're coming from. But you're just going to have to wait it out. Yeah, I think sports is just going to have to wait this out. I really do. I mean, I don't know how baseball is,
But do you really want to watch a game where there's no fans in the stands? I mean, that's
No.
all part of the whole
Absolutely
thing. I mean,
not. No.
I don't know if I can watch it.
No, it's just
Yeah.
And every game in the Phoenix area, that's what they're talking about. Every game in Arizona, I guess, because I'm not sure why Arizona, but all the games, it just doesn't make any sense.
Well, what I
Really
want to
doesn't.
know is with the Saints coming up, if that gets all messed up, what is Craig and Jay Bodo going to do every Sunday? What are the Bodo brothers going to do? I mean, it's these guys. Craig, he's got to go to the Saints game.
Yeah, no, I've seen Craig at the Saints games. Yeah, well, there's a lot of people like that. Like Sal Saldano hasn't missed a game in like 40 years. Even when his son was born that weekend, he still went to the game. And there's a lot of people like that. That great tailgate they have out there, the Sal and Johnny Horn. What are they going to do? They're just going to be miserable.
Yeah, I mean, they came out with that thing about Arizona today, and I just don't see the players' union, caring.
It makes no sense to me. I mean, I just don't see people watching it.
All right, so you've been. I don't mean to go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut.
Yeah, no, I don't have anything important. What's up?
I didn't have that. So what have you been doing? You've been doing because the cards and letters have been coming in.
Well, I am working, and I work 5 days a week. This week I work 6 days, and other than that, I come home and read a little bit and try and find something to do, and talk to the cats. The cats need.
We don't have our silly cat sound effect because.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I wish you did.
Yeah.
Because I've got two of them in the room right here with me, wondering what I'm doing on the phone instead of, mollycoddling them. But yeah. So that's it. I'm not doing any more than anybody else, like you guys. I mean, I don't know what you're doing.
We're doing a show a day. We're doing a show a day live. It's a show a day until this thing goes away, baby.
Is it at this time of day?
Yeah, 3 o'clock.
And did you watch the the Saints replay last night?
I'm glad you brought that up, Nick. I did watch the replay.
Just the other day.
I just really, first of all, after the block punt, it was a crappy game. Excuse my language, fans out there.
Was away.
Harry Chapin is dead. All right, Vic.
This is our song, Dan. Jeez.
Yeah, I know. But other than that, I can't stand outsiders talking about Katrina. It's like the hair stands on the back of my neck.
I hear that.
Having them talk, and then they had Spike Lee on the booth and everything. I watched it, but I didn't really pay a lot of attention after the block punt.
We got a camera in your house right now. We can see your silly cat, one of your silly cats.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Those appliances, Dan. Jeez, do something about those appliances, will you?
Yeah, Dan, your furniture is out of date. But
when I play the Cats in the Cradle song, that means one of two things: we're either bringing Dan on or we're getting Dan off.
Yeah.
So which one is it right now?
It's getting Dan off.
It'll be off.
Oh God, I barely had any time. All right, well that's fine.
All right. Well, I'm gonna see you this week. I'll call you when I get out because I know we were trying to talk, so I'll give you a call a little bit later.
Okie doke. All right, guys. Always a pleasure.
Dan Greenbaum.
Take care, buddy.
Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you. All right.
The greatest.
All right.
Bye. Not the
Gotta be
greatest.
torture.
Bye. Thank you.
I feel so bad for him right now. A sports fan as much as he is. I don't know, man.
Yeah, he's an unbelievable sports fan, and I mean we're all doing a little bit of hurting here, So.
How time flies when you're on diet pills. How time flies, Teddy.
I understand. It's flying right by. What an hour just flew right by.
Just flew right by us. We got to figure out what's going on with your camera or whatever's going on with there, Teddy. You were freezing the whole show. You were great yesterday. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. What do you want for nothing? Are we paying for the StreamYard stuff? Did we pay for it?
Yep.
Well, then we should be getting a better product. If I paid for this, I need a better product.
Yeah.
Maybe we should work on that.
All right. Thanks, America.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us.
See you tomorrow at 3 o'clock.
All over the road is a presentation of goldpricesnow.com. Get on there. Check it out.